My name. Yep. So just I, I got it. I got it. Yeah. So do you mind if I just put you on speaker here? Just let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's alright.
That's okay. Okay. Um, yeah. So but at the moment we got all internal sales team more or less. So there's
Yeah,
we've got two people basically two full time staff in each showroom.
yeah,
For showrooms. Look, every sometimes that the manager or whoever's looking after the client does go externally.
okay,
Never particularly far from the showroom. But
yeah,
but basically for local sort of clients. And then and then we've like I was saying, we don't presentpresently have anybody employed full time externally. However,
yeah, yep,
we are looking.
yeah, okay. Because I see a lot of my clients, like, they do have a showroom, like, um, they can either, like, in the, in between time when it's quiet,
Yeah,
get the guys that are on the showroom to make a few calls,
yeah,
and we can make a pretty structured sort of daily activity around that, and I'll show you how that could look like.
great.
Or some of my clients, they would have the people in the showroom predominantly just looking after people, the walk-ins and inquiries, but then they would have someone else on the back office, sort of like predominantly looking at the commercial stuff. So it's just good to understand where you're thinking that you had, so I can show you how that would look like on that way. But I will show you both.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, we do
Yeah,
have that sort of structure because we do have an individual in the company who, for want of any better, a better term, we call our
yeah,
project manager.
commercial, yeah, commercial
Yeah,
rep,
and
or
I
yeah, whatever.
and but she
Yeah,
works internally as well. But then we all like I help. And then I assist with that too. So yeah.
yeah. But assuming that the guys in the showroom will have some sort of downtime when it's not as busy, that they could perhaps have a target where
Absolutely.
they would have a daily activity. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, being a salesperson myself and working in sales for years, like, it's always easy when things come to you, but yeah, there is this certain type of personality that do like to deal with the clients that walk in, and there's this kind of personality that would go out and
Yes. Yeah.
more. So yeah, so of course, I guess from your side and where a lot of my clients make the best use of this, it's only as good as you use it. So it's something that you probably will have to incorporate in their daily routine. I'll show you how that could look like.
Look. To be honest, we've already got like a mandate that basically the showrooms have to call like 100 architects designers a month.
Okay.
But it's just through a mailing list that we've got all through manual searches. There's nothing.
Perfect.
There's
Okay.
nothing. There's nothing, and then we have spreadsheets
Not
for it.
structural.
Not
Okay.
not as
That's great.
not as structured as what I'm probably going to see here in a preordained program,
Perfect.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll show you how that could work for you. I'll show you through. So the first four tabs you see here are about the project. So
Okay.
start doing a project search, tracking projects, see what are the training projects are. For example, we have a full list that which projects we have more of our clients interested in. Latest projects, of course, are everything since I've last logged in.
Uh-huh.
Where I think that these 100 companies that you're calling or 100 calls that they have to make, this is where we can get the data from. So, for example, give you the top 100 or the top 100 architects in Sydney that have more projects on at the moment. So we can look at what projects they're working on as well. The sales CRM on the right here would be more for you and for your team. So I guess for your team to track what's their daily activity, so callbacks they need to do, or biddings and quotes they have to spend, but also for you to generate a report on how many calls they've made, who they spoke to, and what's the feedback.
Okay.
So specify a little bit more that we just want to talk to architects and interior designers.
Okay.
Both of the design builders will be also of interest. And I'll bring out stuff in Sydney. And these are the list of all the different types of projects, BTI or marketing the BTI track, and how we break down the market into specific projects. The reason we do that is to make sure that the information you're accessing is relevant to you. I have access to everything, but we will look into tailoring your subscription only to the projects that are relevant to your product.
Sure.
I'll show you where I believe they are. It's right on the bottom here. You've got, I'll stop here for a little bit because we've got, sorry, past. So based on what we said yesterday, like the hotels and service apartments are up here. That's one part.
Yep.
The other one would be the multi-density residential project.
Yep. Yeah.
Single dwellings, we report on single dwellings, but they still need to be minimum of 3 dwellings in the same project.
Yeah, okay.
We do pick up on the odd, really large projects, the odd two, so I'll fix those, but sometimes that bring up a lot of government housing as well. So we filter that out, but let's have a look what comes up.
Can have it, yeah, okay.
So what I'm going to do now is search for a database of the top architects across New South Wales doing that type of project for the last 12 months. But I want that list to come ordered or sorted by company total project value in their portfolio for the last 12 months. So architects that have more projects or a bigger project will come right at the top.
Understood. Okay.
This is sort of like your target market.
Yeah.
All the way to the smaller guys. I'll also show you next how we could get this list of projects, but only show me a specific type of project. For example, like we spoke yesterday, show me projects between 10 and 20 units, for example. Do you have something in mind that you think will be more relevant to you?
Look, boutique projects have always sort of been our we have probably you'd say a higher success rate, and that's probably because probably like luxury. So sort of 10 to 20 sort of more luxury style apartments or townhouses.
Yeah, townhouses. All right, we'll have a look at those. But as a hit list, this is of course the database of architects in Sydney, ordered by who are the most active architects on the top. These guys, for example, have $10 billion worth of residential and hotel projects within their portfolio. That could be made about multiple projects or one really large project as well. But this database here are everybody that has current projects.
Okay.
So there's 1,821 architects currently specifying in Sydney for the last 12 months.
Okay.
Once you actually go through this list, it's ordered all the way to the smaller guys. And then, for example, if you want to have a look at SJB architects, pretty busy architects in Sydney as well. Once you click on their business name, you open up this separate page here that has the list of all the projects that they're currently working on.
Okay.
So on the top you have their contact details. On the first column you see the name of the architect that it is specifying that specific project, that designing that project.
Yeah.
Some of these projects might have finished, but so you can see here on stage where my mouse is.
Yeah.
That's what stage the project is at. Of course, a project like this that's still at the design stage, this one in specific, I can see that the site's for sale. Not great one to look at, but something like that, that's at development approval, development application, this one here, development application. So, for example, Adam here, if I click through, that's his contact details, and he's the architect signing off on all these projects here.
All right, so
you know exactly what projects he's working on.
So something in the design stage is a good thing, obviously.
Yeah. This is where I guess they're specifying, and I'll show you all the stages of the project as well.
Okay.
Documentation is they already started the spec. It might still be an opportunity, but ideally, I guess you want to influence the documentation. So being one stage before, which is the design stage, could be a little bit a better chance.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean, like, as you said, it could be the case that like this one, for example, right? They are at tender stage, and we've got the name of all the builders tendering of this project. Doesn't mean that you cannot call them and see if you can still replace something, but as you said to me, yes, it's a lot more work.
Yeah.
But that specific project, we could have let you know about that project when it was at the design stage, for example.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But I can see also that same architect, he does also like projects like this. If you look at this project in specific, it's 12 apartments for $6.5 million. You're probably looking at about, $500,000 per apartment.
Yeah.
So we can have a look at this one as an example. So this is the project. This one in specific, you can see that it's abandoned. So I'll guide through this information. We've been tracking this project on the top here when you see first published. This is when we first picked up on this project.
Yep.
So it's been going already for a couple of years. This specific project is being abandoned, which means they either put it on hold or they're not going ahead anymore.
Sure.
But they actually got through council when I see the versions of this project. So we've already updated this project 6 times.
Okay.
The project even went to tender
Right.
and then went back to documentation. So there might be a bit of an issue. Okay. Here's the status of it. The site was sold, and then we have a new developer.
Okay.
This developer might go ahead with that permit, but the permit might have lapsed already. So they do have a couple of years, at least they have 2 years to build. Is that the same in New South Wales?
Sorry?
Once you get a development approval to go ahead with the project, you have 2 years to start that project.
Oh, right, 2 years, yeah.
Okay? Yeah? Okay. I know in Victoria that's how it works, but so they're building this, I guess the original concept of this project is that they're building 12 2-bedroom apartments.
Right.
Then there's the breakdown of what's going to be on the basement level, what's going to be on level 1, 2, and 6 to 3, and they have also rooftop with 2 big, apartments there too.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's something like that.
So
Yeah,
so originally what we do is just give you all the contact details for that project.
Okay. Yeah.
For example, who is the architect, which is that one that we were looking at before.
Yeah.
So how I can see this perhaps working for you guys is we could set up your subscription to send you an email notification either once a day or once a week, and you can nominate what day of the week you prefer, with a list of all the new projects in the database, meeting the criteria of what you're looking for. They are at the design stage. So as soon as the project hits design stage, we send you a report with all the new projects once a day. So for example, I actually have an example here on my inbox. Let me open this for you. This is roughly how it looks like. You get an email like this, or all the new projects. These, of course, the project type would be specific to the region and the type of project that you're looking for. And we can nominate, say, just showing projects when they hit the design stage, for example. So a date stage could look like for your guys that we would set up one of those for them, and they could go through this list. And let's assume that this is a project, for example, that's of interest to you guys. You click on it, and that will open the project on BTI.
So what's the most? I mean, is it better to come in at documentation stage? Do you think is that the initial stage?
I'll show you all the stages of the project, and that perhaps could help us answer that.
And that email is obviously just a filtered email, which helps us. But in terms of we get that information on the email, but at the same time, that doesn't restrict any information for us. If we go in, we can look at anything we want, right?
Yeah, exactly. So once I click on that hyperlink, then that brings me up to the full project page. So that's that project that we looked at on the notifier. Yeah. That's the total project value. They are at the development application stage. Normally, this line here gives you a further indication of where the project is at. So we recently even checked the project had progressed. There was no changes. This gives you the scope of the project so far.
And if I
had approval yet, but then you've got the architect, town planner, and all the contact details for that project.
And I can still look at all the other categories if I want to change the filter. Like, as in, that's just the email, right? Like, I can go in, I can look at anything I want.
Set up the notification to show you everything.
Yeah.
But what you asked is pretty much what I'm looking for now. So project. Do a project search.
Yeah.
Where you select what type of project you want to see. So let's even use the apartment project as an example. You wouldn't have access to everything because I don't think you guys would need it.
No.
You select what you need. You always get 12 months of archive.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, you can even specify what stage of the project you want to see. But this list here will give you a bit of an indication of how we track the project. So, we normally, for residential projects, we start either at the concept stage where they do the early submission of proposal to council prior to the development application, or during the development application and approval.
Okay.
This is roughly this stage where we pick up on that information and we start to track those projects. How we find that info is we have a team of 150 full-time staff. These are our researchers. Predominantly their full-time role is to find out about projects from that day one and make all the initial calls to the architect, to the developer, to the consultant to check on the scope of the project, where the project is at and when it's due to move forward next, and to track the project from there.
Okay.
So I would say for you guys, based on feedback from my clients, I would wait for the development approval. But that doesn't mean that maybe some architects might start talking to you guys a little bit earlier.
Sure.
When they're doing the early sketch plans.
Well, that is what happens with some basic clients that do come into us that are doing larger projects that are waiting for DAs. That they first come in, they're getting ideas. They have a concept of what they've got a concept of what they want, but because they haven't got the full DA, they're not sure about sizes 100%.
They're not sure.
So
things can change, and you might do a lot of work prior to development application.
Yeah.
Prior to development approval, and then the project might have to change code and it change everything else. So
I mean, DA is the best.
I want to be as early as possible, but
DA is the best stage. Otherwise, you can waste time. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to think about also where you want to put your resources. So, development approval sometimes the trigger to generate that report. So, give me a report daily on every single project that hits development approval. So we will send that notification to you guys. But that doesn't mean you couldn't come here and search for
concept
all stages. Except anything that's abandoned or deferred.
Perfect.
And that could show you all projects that are a documentation. It could show you projects that the builder's already appointed, projects that are at tender or contract award, or even the construction already started. At the end of the day.
Okay, so the reach isn't limited. Yeah, great.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So I'll show you projects across Sydney and Melbourne just to give you an indication. So we can even select what part of New South Wales and Vic you want. I'll even say for you guys, the metro area, which is probably what I'm selecting now, could be a good start. And I can even look up projects at that particular size that you mentioned. So I'll put some keywords here.
Oh, yep, there you go.
So this will bring up more luxury projects, more high-end stuff. But that's just one option. We can bring everything up if you like. And let's say you mentioned probably about...
Let's say...
20, would that be good?
Yeah, 20. Let's do 20.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I mean, just because, that's a boutique size, isn't it? It's going to be, up in those... they're going to be in the millions.
If you search for absolutely everything, there's probably about... You probably bring up about... I can go back and take those views of that, and there's about 6,000 projects.
Forget it, yeah.
Okay. But there's a few here that are very specific, so straight away I brought up 20 projects.
Well, there you go, like 17 in Q at 16.33 million. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that one.
Yeah. Appeal lodged. Okay, something to do
appeal.
with the council.
Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
But definitely don't have the approval yet.
Okay.
So the first planning application was refused and the appeal was lodged by with CAT. So
it happens.
It happens a lot, and it's happening more and more in Melbourne as well. So
because everybody's trying to develop.
Yeah, especially because it's Q as well. Like you've got the old and steel there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I nearly went to cat with my house, which is just in Port Melbourne. Like,
Yeah, right.
yeah, neighbours never want to change in the streets.
Oh, man. I've been there
It
all the
happens.
time.
So here you can see sort of like they're building 17 three-bedroom luxury apartments,
Yeah, yeah.
and you get a bit of the idea of what they're trying to do
Yeah.
in terms of finishes. In this particular case, which it happens very rare, the architect actually requested not to publish their contact details.
Okay.
Very rare with architects that happens.
Yeah.
And you will see that like 95% of projects will always get those details. And you can see like how specific we can get everybody else.
Well, I can see I can see there's other opportunity though. There's like planning and design. Like, you know, if you can't get a hold of the architect, then you probably have somebody else you can try.
Absolutely. So we try to at least offer 2, 3, 4 ways into the project.
Yeah.
But most likely, you will always get the architect directly.
Yeah. Okay.
Most of this is quite rare, but it can happen as well.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's not hard to give them a call either. You know, if you really want to give them a call, it's not that hard. You can easily find, you know, their contact. The idea is that this guy will cut this next step, which would be to find because their architect's website, give the reception a call, and ask who is the best person to talk to regarding the project.
Sure.
You know, in queue. Like, it would be more about, can I please speak to John regarding the project in queue, etc. So it's a bit easier that way. But this one is specific. But there's a few here. Look, development application. This one here, they already got a builder appointed, but still the development application as well.
Mm-hmm.
A good sign. You already get all the decision making there. Something else won't die. Development application. So there's a fair bit. There's so many projects going up at the moment, but you can look at something like this one.
Design stage, 4.6 million, 4-story 7. You sent 3 bedroom apartments. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
LJ Hooker. Oh, it's the agent. So the architect's
That's the agent, and then you've got
okay.
the architect there. And of course, if you want to schedule a call for Duncan, and that's where you can start getting your guys to log their call into the system, so you can get a report on who they're calling, who they talk to, what's the follow up, the results. They just log their call. Yeah.
Okay. So does that? Sorry. Does that then go into the CRM? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
That's how it works. So you pretty much click here, log your call. So we can pretty much create like a pretty good structure for them to track all this. It's not that, you know, like they can either assign to themselves, or these are all the guys within my Melbourne office, so I can also assign to someone else.
Okay.
Or you could look it up the project and assign to someone from the Melbourne office to call. Make sure you call this guy tomorrow. I know this guy, and you can put notes in here as well.
Can I load those people in myself, or do I have to get you guys to do it? Like if I want to load staff in, delete staff.
Yeah, you can add contacts. Only you can see it.
I can do that myself. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, you can add contacts, and you can add projects as well.
Yeah, great. Oh no, but I can staff as well. Like where it says assigned to, I can add staff and delete staff and
correct. So
yes.
Assign to everybody that is actually here. So when you actually organize a subscription, the cost is for the information, right?
Yes. Yep.
So you select what regions and what projects you want to subscribe to, and that's the cost.
Yep.
Then you can select how many users of that information you would like.
To that region.
An additional user. So a subscription comes with one user automatically. You've got to log into it.
Yes.
But you can add additional users. Additional users cost only $180 a year to add an additional user. That allows us at BCI to train them one by one and set up their individual login how you like. So, for example, if you have a guy in Sydney and a guy in Melbourne using it, but you just want the guy in Melbourne to get reports and projects in Melbourne, we can then set up his logins to get notified of projects in Melbourne.
Okay.
If you want your guys in Sydney to only see the projects in Sydney and only get the reports from, so they don't, you know, get distracted by stuff not relevant to them.
Yeah.
You can share a login, but you can't log in at the same time. The system actually locks you out if you log in two separate places at the same time.
Yep.
we assign from our end who is in charge of that login. But if you need that change, you just need to send us an email. We'll change that straight away for you.
Yeah, look, clearly the CRM would be useless without separate logins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right. And also, you can generate an individual report on how often they're logging in, how many calls they're making, how many meetings they're booking with those people, or,
Yeah.
what are they doing with that. You get to read their notes so you get a full report on it. So, or if you have a catch up with them, you can say, print your report, and you can actually print it and come to the meeting and have a look at the results as well. So, so you lodge your calls here. So, for example, if I'm saving this, you start seeing now on the bottom of this page on this project specific. So, the whole concept of BCI is that allows you guys to be project specific when you call in the architects and the contact details here. So everything is project specific. So follow up with Ergo regarding this particular project. But you can certainly also go into the company profile and lodge just a call to the architect as well. But I guess it depends on who you're talking to. You saw that one specific architectural firm. There's like 30 contacts in there. So, yeah, it can vary a lot in terms of who you speak to. You can add just generic notes as well to the project. And if you want to upload a file, for example, you guys send them a quote and you want to upload and attach the quote here. So, you know everything that's going on, you can as well. So only you, the person that's logging into this project, that can see, or you guys can select for everybody in your group to see what each other's doing as well, which is probably how I would recommend. So if someone's sick or on holiday, but then the architect calls, you guys can pick up on it as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So from here as well, like what we do is, if this is a project you guys want to track, is add to your sales pipeline.
Okay.
So now you can see like this from being an opportunity, you can then move into, once you spoke to the architect, qualify, you can start using these 9 step fields here to track information that's relevant to you guys on that project. So that project was worth 4.6 million total project value, but perhaps for you guys it's worth, let's say, 150,000, and you can start ticking if you've been specified, or if you are a competitor being specified and you're trying to change it. You can change if you quoted yes or no, what's the probability, expected order, order received date, won or lost or qualified out, and what's the won, what value did you win for,
and then you lost it too.
Or you lose it too. So all this data is what feeds into also the sales reports that you can generate. So, for example, if you want to generate like an expected order out of this, you can pretty much generate that based from your CRM on the top there. You can select what user. So let's say John, if you want to see his stats, you can pretty much see everything and you can start tracking. So these are all the projects I have at the opportunity stage, all the projects I have at the qualified stage, 100 projects I've quoted, and the opportunity value here, the probability, and the follow-up date are things that you guys need to set up to, I guess, be tracking and adding information to.
Sure, okay.
Everything that I'm currently negotiating, everything that I've closed.
Understood, okay.
Yeah, these are all my activity. I don't have anything, but I have a couple of future ones.
Follow-ups, yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah,
overdue,
check on my overdue.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, and these are all the architects or companies that I'm watching. So, if, for example,
they're big. They got stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, if you have already a relationship with architects in Sydney, and if you want to get notified every time they have a new project on, then you add that company to
your watch list. Okay.
And I get quick email notification every time they have a new project on as well.
Okay.
And in terms of reports, the sales reports is probably what's more relevant to you guys, where you can start to see, for example, conversion from specified to won, or your closing ratio, your average order value, your total revenue generated from BCI, why your competitor you're losing to. You can start sort of generating reports based on that as well.
Yeah.
a summary
it's always
of how
useful.
it works. Certainly, all these reports and all these tools on how it works, something that we go through in a lot of detail during training. So the process would be, we would then select what projects and what areas you want to see. I'll give you the pricing. If you guys were happy to move forward, it happens everything pretty straightforward. We set up the subscription from our end to start with, and then as soon as you receive your login details, we'll book a training with you guys. We can either do the training online like we're doing now, or we can come to you. So we've got offices in Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, and Brisbane. And then if it's out of those areas, we can just do via online meeting.
That'd be good. Look. I can see that there's. I can see how this works. Like I've looked at these sort of things before, but I really I quite like the way this is structured. I can see how in some parts of the business it would work for us. In some of the interstate parts of the business, I think we would have to have it established and understood because Sydney is our centre of operation, and that's where our warehousing is as well. It's all our logistics, and it's basically where we run the business from. So I think we would have to fully understand it in Sydney first, and basically see how it works in Sydney, but then it has the potential to roll out in other areas, especially seeing as we're looking to hire somebody full-time in Sydney in a project role as well.
Sure.
So it makes sense.
I'll get my quote module up because I can actually show you how pricing is set. Just bear me for a second. I'm just going on the back here.
And we'll look at this now. Can you email this to me as well?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, cool. Yep. Because it sounds like it's per region, per user.
It's number one per region.
Yep.
Per second, what project category.
Yep.
And then you just add users to that information.
And that costs you per user.
It costs more for the information. So I'll show you now how that works.
Yep.
The additional user is only $180 a year.
A year.
Like $12 a month for an additional user. It's not really what drives your cost.
No.
What will drive your cost the most will be,
the information and the category of information. Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah.
But I mean, it seems to me like you've, with all your experience, you pretty much determined, the categories of information that we'd be interested in. Plus, with the information I've given you, we'd be pretty much just refining into those categories in any case.
This is our core module. It doesn't look as pretty as CRM, but you'll see how we actually price, and it's pretty much like that category I showed you before.
Yeah.
System.
Yeah.
Like you get to choose. Like personally, I think hotel service apartments and apartment projects is what will generate probably the best return for you. But what do you think?
Look, hotels is where we've already had success, and where we probably so hotels and service apartments, motels, hostels, backpackers, stuff like that. We'd be priced too high for any of that. Resorts, maybe probably resorts, yes.
Okay.
We have had some success with resorts already, but then beyond that, because we do have some unusual products and Balinese baths, we've got some interesting things.
Nice. Then that department.
Absolutely.
And the single dwelling you spoke about.
Yeah.
Some of these retirement villages are pretty high end, but
yeah,
I don't know.
you start crossing over into that commercial space with some of the aged care, and then you start falling in with Chroma and these guys, and it starts getting difficult.
Yeah, but here you see some of these could be good as well, but then again it's that commercial space, and I would say they don't have. It's not that you have 12 apartments with 12 baths, and probably 24 bathrooms versus one. Too much work. I
mean, we could obviously always increase the subscription, but
you can. I think so. I would say the best thing to do when my clients start is less is more.
Yeah.
I find more specific you start, you can get that process rolled out, and then you guys, really nail it, and then you can look at other options. But there's so much work out there, that you're not even aware of right now.
Yeah.
So that's probably a good start. The next selection we do is the coverage, where you can even select the whole stage, but you can look at the breakdown of the areas and get to pick that as well.
I see.
I can select here for you what's Sydney and if there's something you don't want, we can take it out.
Yeah. Let's start with Sydney and see what we get.
Yeah, exactly. So this still includes Melbourne Metro. But you're probably more familiar with Sydney than I am, so if there's any mistake, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm
just
pretty
before
sure
we
that
go.
I
Yeah.
missed out on this one.
Yeah, I mean you can tick it. That would add to the cost to ticket, would it? A little bit.
Yeah, very small.
Okay.
Yeah, the region stuff drive the cost the most, but it's like one box, one stage subscription sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean it's a developing area, but it's probably still under our price range. But anyway, let's have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And do you want me to also give you an indication for Melbourne, or just different out?
Will it price it separately?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can price it separate for you. To be honest, if I generate the cost for Sydney now, it would be very similar just for Melbourne. But if you subscribe to both, and then each of them becomes cheaper, if that makes sense.
Does it?
So there's that economy of scale. I'll probably say concept's probably a little bit too early for you guys. I would say tracking the project from development application onwards will be plenty. This does not influence the cost, but I do think that this is like not wasting your time, but probably way too early.
Yeah. Okay. Let's forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just for subcontractors. The next is just for New Zealand clients, probably not relevant. If it's for Sydney only, you'll probably just need one login to start with.
To start with, yeah, but well,
I can come back and
probably. I mean, actually, if you can't all log in at the same time, it's probably more likely to be at least two.
True.
Let's say two, babe. Yeah, let's say two.
Yeah, sure. And in terms of the support that you guys get, you guys could be between silver and gold, and you can get to choose, and I'll explain the difference between both. This is just the training and the rollout and the support that BCR provides. Both are exactly the same. The difference is gold will come to you guys and do training face-to-face,
Right.
and silver will do training like we're doing right now, so via an online meeting. You still get a dedicated BCR account manager to assist with the training and implementing, doing all the settings for you guys. You still get a company-specific setup and the notifier, and you get, you guys can also come to our office in Leonard.
Well, we're quite close. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference in cost there?
Like $100 per user.
Okay.
Per year.
Per user.
Not a lot.
Not a huge amount. Let's have a look at silver anyway, because we are so close. That's
Yeah, exactly. You guys come, but sometimes you just don't want people to leave the showroom, and then we'll come to you.
That's true.
Go.
That's
because
true.
we have our guys driving out. So.
Oh well, actually, okay. Let's have a look anyway, and let's have a look at gold. I guess from the perspective that we can always go down, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So you look at your, so in terms of cost, I'll guide you through this. You're looking at $360